I can't wait for this game. We've been waiting all season for it. Shady, do the Eagles need Jalen Hurts to beat the Cowboys?
I'm going to say yes. I really think so. One thing about having, like, a quarterback in the huddle, it's another thing to have an MVP in the huddle, right? When I played with Patrick Mahomes and he was in that huddle, we all believed, oh, okay, no matter what happens, if it gets tight, it gets dicey, we can depend on Patrick Mahomes. And the same thing with the Eagles. We haven't seen what the offense looks like without Jalen Hurts. This new offense. Not last year, I'm talking about this year. And I like Gardner. I think Gardner can play. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I'm happy that he's our backup. He gives us a chance to win. But to get that guaranteed dub, come on now, because the Cowboys. You know what I mean? You got the holidays, Christmas. The narrative is built up for Jalen Hurts. This is his time to shine. So, yes, I truly think that having Jalen Hurts in that offense, and not only just the offense, the defense. You know you got a quarterback on the other side that's going to win this game, right? You can depend on him. Having that there, man, that piece, that energy, that vibe, that wave, that swag, having that not there, I don't know. My boys, we need him. We need
Shady,
one.
I don't think so,
we
man.
We need one.
I don't think they need Jalen Hurts because, truth be told, when I look at the Eagles, you still roll up to the party with an A.J. Brown.
Okay.
You still roll up to the party with a Devontae Smith. You still roll up with a Jason Kelsey. You still roll up with a Lane Johnson. You still roll up with a Miles Sanders. Speaking of, Dallas Goedert is allegedly and supposed to be back. You still roll up with Darius Slay. You still roll up with Reddick, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. You still roll up with Jordan Davis. You still roll up with Bradbury. You still roll up with T.J. Edwards. You still roll up with 7, 8 Pro Bowl caliber players.
The homies is ready.
They all ready. Ooh. So, like, in all honesty, not just in this game, I will speak even futuristic, but clearly in this game, I think the Eagles can roll up without number one and be just fine because of the squad they are rolling up with. Where do you stand, Dave?
You're absolutely right. We saw the Cowboys do this already, and they're not as good of a team as the Eagles. Let's do Jalen Hurts the credit that we didn't give Dak Prescott. They're a lesser team without Jalen Hurts. You know, they got the best offense in the league right now. It's rolling in the run game. He makes plays in the passing game. Could they still win this game with the 16th best offense in the league? Of course they could. They got the best pass defense in the league. They got 15 interceptions. That sounds like it could come in handy against a guy that throws them, right?
He does that.
Maybe. They have the best turnover differential in the NFL. They got the best offensive line in the NFL. Their run game is amazing. Gardner Minshew is actually a pretty mobile guy himself. I mean, he's not Jalen Hurts, but I mean, he had 300-400 rushing yards as a rookie. Like, he can move the pocket. He can do the things you need him to do. The Eagles are not as good without Jalen Hurts. You see what I did there? But they can win with their backup quarterback.
You just kept it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Something I do every day.
They don't need him to win this game. It would be nice to have him, though.
Yes, it would be nice to have him. I think they'll be just fine without Jalen Hurts for this particular game. Just fine is 2 words that you just said, and I would steal them for this game. I don't think moving forward they can do what they've been doing without Jalen Hurts, which is an idea that has been floated, Shady. You weren't here for that, but the notion is out there that this team would be as good with Gardner Minshew as the quarterback as they are with Jalen Hurts. I'll let you digest that. So for this game against a divisional opponent who can't get a win against Jacksonville, I think they can do it for one game. For one game. Because your backup quarterback should be able to come in
He's not bad.
and be not as good as your starter, but not awful. Don't turn the ball over. Don't make any mistakes. Don't be a hero. And you can win the game. So to me, it's less about the Eagles and more about the opponent.
Let me push the ball forward then a little bit further. It's been stated several times that the Eagles are significantly better than everybody else in the NFC, right? I think the Eagles are.
League.
Great.
I said the league.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So if they're significantly better than everybody else in the league, do you not think, because I think that I would pick the Eagles even without Jalen Hurts.
Right.
I would pick the Eagles to beat everybody in the NFC except the 49ers. And with the 49ers, even with Jalen Hurts, y'all know how confident I am in the Niners as well. How you have your doubts about Jalen Hurts and his health when he comes back, because he will, because he got that dog in him. Do the Eagles even need a healthy Jalen Hurts, or are the Eagles just that good? Because if they're better than everybody else, are they not just that good?
This is why we need Jalen, right? Because all the things that he said, he talked about how they have they're great against the pass on defense, to get after the quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. But what happens when they don't play it up to that level? That's football. It happens. People have bad days. A dude like Jalen Hurts can overcome that. Let's say Slay, you know, I think he's locked down, but he has games where he wasn't locked down. It happens in football. Guys turn the ball over. Guys drop passes, they catch passes and they drop them, they fumble it, whatever it is. Jalen Hurts is that good where he can make the difference. Because in football, things happen. And a game like the Colts, who's not that good, right? We're not that good of a team, but they had us in a slump where we couldn't do nothing. We should have lost that game. A guy like Jalen Hurts won that game for us. That's why we need him, because when games get tight and our defense is not playing great like they're supposed to, or the wide receivers that we have is not playing well like they're supposed to, you need a guy like that that can make – it doesn't matter. I'm going to get the win for us because I'm that good.
Have the Eagles, though, shown you, Joy, any sign of weakness all year to say, you know what, they will have that down game? Jalen Hurts had that down game last week, but the Eagles in their entirety, they haven't really shown me flaws as a team to make me worry and make me scared about needing Jalen Hurts to click on all cylinders, or Jalen Hurts this game, the next game. Clearly, you don't need him for Week 18 if you've gotten that far.
Now, look, obviously, I think that Jalen Hurts is the MVP. Not that many other people think that. But, again, what happened last week? Jalen was bad, and then Jalen got it together and then rushed for 3 touchdowns, and then they won the game. Gardner Minshew is not coming back from a game the way that Jalen Hurts started that game. Against the Colts, they won because of Jalen. They weren't playing well. They overcame it. Washington, everyone played bad, and it was a disaster, right. And that was their one loss of the season. So if you don't think that Jalen Hurts is that important to the wins and the losses, which I absolutely do, then they'll be fine. But I think for one game, again, against the Cowboys, a team that they see twice a year, like divisional games are just different. They know each other. The personnel knows each other. They've already played once. Like, they can scheme different things. You play differently against divisional opponents, which is why I think they'll be fine for one game. But this is not a situation where they're going to be as good as they are with Jalen Hurts. Jalen plays the most important position. Jalen is the leader. Jalen is the one who has overcome when they weren't playing well, to Shady's point.
Dave, here's what I'm fascinated by. Answer this question. Take us home. Say Gardner Minshew is the starter. You know the NFC very, very, very well. Who would you pick over the Eagles, even if they had Gardner Minshew as their starter? Because I was thinking about it in the dressing room coming up before the show. I'd still pick the Eagles over the Vikings. I'd still pick the Eagles over the Cowboys. I'd pick them over the Commanders, the Giants. I'd pick them over the Bucks. I'd still pick them over the Lions. Who, without Jalen Hurts, you saying, you know what? Nah, now I'm going with this other squad.
That's a really good question, and I think I'm with you. Like, I would pick the Eagles to beat all of those teams with Gardner Minshew as their quarterback, probably, but it's football, right? I mean, why do we do this? And I think your margin for error just gets slimmer when you don't have your starting quarterback. Like, again, the Eagles' offense is fine with Gardner Minshew, but it's amazing with Jalen Hurts. That makes a difference. What happens when a ball clangs off your receiver's hands and the other team gets it? What happens if, for some reason, you fumble the snap because Gardner Minshew hasn't been in there all season, and now Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson are on your 35-yard line with a chance to take a 10-0 lead in the second quarter? Can you come back from a 10-0 lead with Gardner Minshew? So I think I would probably pick the Eagles to beat everybody but the Niners, even with Gardner Minshew. But the playoffs, man, I mean, you got to win at least 3 games to win a trophy, and things are going to go wrong, and your margin of error gets slimmer. So it's not that they can't do it, but you got to admit you don't feel as good about it.
Of course not.
Yeah, make it seem so easy. Like, you could just put anybody back there. Like, why? I'm just trying to get on the same page. Why do you guys think that?
I think that the Eagles are like that. I think
they're good.
I think the Eagles.
See, and that's the problem why a lot of people don't want to give him the MVP for these type of things. It ain't that easy to just put anybody back there.
I don't think it is, and I'm glad we will get to find out. But I think that the Eagles, like, you still roll up with that whole defense. That's cool. And that defense is wild, leads the league in sacks, might set a sack record in the NFL. Well, go ahead.
I mean, like I said it. Like, I've seen games where they didn't play up to par, right? And then Jalen had to carry him. So my thing, and then also in the running game, they talk about how we got a good offensive line and to run the ball so well. He does a lot of that. Even when he's not running the ball, just the threat of him running the ball, right? I just play with Michael Vick, and I love playing with Vick because I'm going to get so many one-on-one opportunities because his ability to be able to run holds the backside defensive ends on the run reads. It holds the linebackers. So a dude like me, and I was fast, and Miles Sanders is faster than I am. If the backside, or if the linebacker has to get me, or the backside safety has to come over and get me, I can outrun him because that quarterback can hold these linebackers and defenses' responsibilities. It's not that easy just to put a quarterback back there and continue to roll like the Eagles' offense is doing. That's one thing I'm not feeling, but what y'all saying.
I don't think I said that. I wish I could get people to let go of the idea. I'm not going to say the word easy. It's a little bit insulting. How about this? Acho and I talked about this. Playing quarterback for the Eagles right now is probably one of the two most favorable situations in the league. That's just, you can't argue with that. That doesn't mean
Jalen makes it look favorable.
That doesn't.
This is not San Francisco, where Jimmy Garoppolo does the bare minimum, and you can plug in a 7th-round rookie quarterback.
I was about to say, like, it doesn't lessen what Jalen has done. Like, you have to have why? You have to have a fantastic quarterback.
It sounds like it.
Why?
No, I'm with Dave. I think I'm with Dave. I think if you had a quarterback with a comparable skill set, then now the question is, can you get a quarterback with a comparable skill set?
You need a great quarterback to hum like this on offense. It's not to take anything away from Jalen Hurts.
I just think that when you talk about if I was a quarterback, right? Because I'm talented, so I can do a lot of things. But if I had a quarterback, I would love to play for the Niners.
Of course. Check.
It's made. My next team will be the Cowboys.
Why?
That's the question.
How? They run the ball extremely well.
They don't have as good of an offensive line.
I'll just go what I see. They run up and down. Boom, 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 boom. They run the rock very well. They have a good defense. They get after the quarterback.
Whose defense is better?
Out of the Eagles and
Cowboys. It's not a question. It's objective.
Just go to
It's not a question.
I just think that for what they asked for the quarterback to do in Philadelphia, even with all the players around him, he has to create that. The reruns, all the RPOs, all that type of stuff, and he runs the ball. All them quarterback draws, like that stuff is not just easy. And another thing, we gotta talk about like how he makes these plays. I've seen plenty of times we make guys miss. Guys in the hole. He make them miss.
Let me ask you this.
That ain't just easy, Joey.
You're not telling me I'm on an island.
See, I had that problem in my life. You know what I'm saying? I would make dudes miss. We could anybody do that.
But here's the question, though. You would rather roll up with CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and Zeke?
There's no chance.
Would you rather roll up with
Pollard, too? Put him in there.
And Pollard.
Right. How about
I don't want
you want to go Lane Johnson,
guys.
Jason Kelsey?
I don't think it's a reasonable conversation to say that anybody at this point in the season, with what's on the line at this point in the season, could just plug anybody in and they can keep doing it, except for the San Francisco 49ers. It's not normal. What's going on with the Niners is not normal. They make it look normal because they do this. They've done this for so long. It's not normal to be able to just put a 7th-round rookie in and have the same results, actually better results than you have with Jimmy Garoppolo. Everybody else, like Dak being there, matters. You see that in the numbers that they produce.
For the most part. Jalen makes plays, though.
The plays.
Can we say that? Jalen makes plays. I don't see Dak just go out there just making plays.
No, I'm not comparing Dak to Jalen.
I'm not. I'm talking about the offense. So you're talking about the players, but I'm saying even with the players around Jalen Hurts, he's making plays. You see what I'm saying? Compared to when I watched Dallas, they run the ball so much they do them bootlegs, some easy. I feel
like what I'm trying to say is getting lost in translation. Like imagine if I gave you $50,000 and told you to go to the casino.
Okay.
And you I'm
gonna come out with $2 million. You're knowing me.
Thank you, Shady.
I'm joking.
No, that's what Jalen Hurts is doing. He was given a fantastic situation, and he's just racking up money with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
So you can put anybody in that system. You're saying
that, not anybody.
I got one. So I do like Justin Fields. I think he runs the ball better than Jalen Hurts.
Of course.
You think he would have that same type of success?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
I think Justin Fields would have significantly more turnovers, and I think he would have significantly more electric plays.
So give me a starting quarterback. You think that will do the same? They could put him in Philadelphia's offense, do the same thing.
It would be a completely different offense. That's the thing.
That we haven't seen.
Well, so then
that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen it.
That's what we're going to see then, because Gardner Minshew is not Jalen Hurts.
And
I think he'll be good enough to win one game against a divisional opponent that just lost to Jacksonville.
But the difference between the Eagles and
Vegas,
the difference between the Eagles and so many opponents is Jalen Hurts and then some. Like the Eagles are so much better than others.
It's Jalen
and then some.
Okay.
Because I'm saying the Eagles are barely better than a lot of teams.
No, they're much better.
Bingo.
But Jalen is a major part of why they are much better.
Correct.
So you can roll up with everybody, but if the gun's not there, we got to fight with our hands.
If you're not shooting and he not shooting, she the only one shooting, we in trouble.
We're in big trouble.
But what's A.J. Brown?
What type of gun
Is he a shooter? What's Devontae Smith?
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that you are right. You're all right.
Shooters now.
But we got to put more respect on Jalen. Jalen, he makes that thing go.
I agree.
So when you say,
that's what's so frustrating. I'm with you on this.
Okay, but when you put Gardner in there, you say we might win. Vegas don't think so. If my boy was in there, that point spread would be like 7 points.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.